good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Knock it off! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, the big hand is on the 4, the little hand is on the 2, and by golly, it's time for the 6 o'clock report. Hal Dean here.
Dean Hal here.
Religious leader Maharishi Maurice Hashish today announced the formation of a new religion, one that teaches that when you die, your soul goes to a garage in Buffalo. Turning now to our nation's capital, Congress had a busy day today in Washington. For that story, here's Rod Bernard in Maine.
Hi, Dan Thomas here at Yellowstone National Park. Congress had a busy day today in Washington. And now back to Hal Dean in New York.
Thanks, Steve. Always a penetrating report. Time now for the movie review, and today a zany comedy, Two's Company, the story of Siamese twins who are joined at the lips. And the merry mix-ups that occur when one gets married and the other has root canal work done the same day. Now for some late-breaking news across the tracks, here's Stafford Cripps.
Hello there, this is Stafford Cripps. And I'll move on the other side of the tracks. Wilt Chamberlain has just announced he's retiring and becoming a baseball team. And now this late bulletin. Fire broke out in the topless bar next to Mom's barbecue palace. It took them 20 minutes to put the fire out and 3 hours to put out the firemen. For news on the human side, in Washington, a government agency claims we're winning the war on poverty. The president has promised to withdraw 200,000 poor people a month until it's over. Friends, it happened today in the heart of Manhattan. And friends, Manhattan does have a heart. 3 little children standing on the corner of 125th Street in Harlem saw a miracle. The garbage was collected. And now for the latest in sports, here's Biff Barf in the Sportlight Spotlight.
Well, good evening, sport fans. Biff Barf here in the Biff Barf Sportlight Spotlight. I call them the way I see them, and if I don't see them, I make them up. No games today. However, we've got a few late football scores still coming in from the far west. Guam Prep 45, Tahiti 14, Mindanao A&I 27, Molokai 10, Caltech 14.5, MIT 12 to the third power. And here's a partial score, Philadelphia 29. Well, that's it from the Scoreboard Kids. Don't forget to join me tomorrow afternoon on the ever-widening world of sports when I'll be presenting the National Two-Man Pole Bearing Championships. And next week, I'll be a guest hunter on American Sporting Man. 6 of us are going to kill a rabbit. Now, our special feature, here's our science editor, Ralph Labb.
In Washington, the Food and Drug Administration has removed all thermometers from the market. They were found to contain mercury. One final note. Here's a community announcement from Reverend Leroy of the Church of What's Happening Now, one of the sponsors of our news program. The church picnic is scheduled for tomorrow. If it rains in the afternoon, the picnic will be held in the morning. For tomorrow's weather, here's Al Sleet, your hippy-dippy weatherman. Hi, Al.
Hey, baby, what's happening? Que pasa? Que what you call your pasa? Al Sleet here, your hippy-dippy weatherman, brought to you by Folsom's Eggnog. Hey there, Mom. Getting bombed around the house? Why not do it with Folsom's Eggnog? Made from only the freshest eggs and only the finest hand-picked nog. Present temperature is 41 degrees at the airport, which is stupid because I don't know anyone who lives at the airport. Tonight, the radar is picking up a line of thunder showers which extends from a point 9 miles north-northeast of Secaucus, New Jersey, along a line to a point 5 miles south-southwest of a point to be right near Fond du Lac. However, the radar is also picking up a squadron of Russian ICBMs, so I wouldn't sweat the thunder showers. Tonight's forecast, dark. Continued mostly dark tonight, turning to partly scattered light in the morning.
Well, that just about wraps it up on the 4 o'clock news. Join us again tonight at 11 for the noontime report. Until then, this is Dean Howell.
And Hal Dean, leaving you with this friendly word of advice about your child's teeth.
Nobody's perfect.
Hi there, universe. It's Peter Plastic here, the boss jock with the boss sounds from the boss list of the boss 30 that my boss told me to play. Right here on the nifty 850. Power radio in the big town. Wonderful Wino Radio. Wonderful Wino, the big sound in the big town. Okay, all you bubblegummers out there in Wino land, let's get started for a marvelous Monday. Here on the Peter Plastic Get Together, Wino time, bing bong, 5 minutes past the big hour of 5 o'clock. Here's a group that everybody digs, one of the new super groups discovered in the basement by their super. Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young, Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Sacco, and Vanzetti. If I were a carpenter, you were a lady, and hit you with a hammer, would you think I was crazy? Okay, kids, there's a song that really tells the story. Wino time, bing bong, 5 minutes past the big hour of 5 o'clock. Time now for a word from Phillips Department Store.
Phillips Department Store proudly announces last week's fire sale was such a big success, there'll be another fire sale next Thursday, right after the big fire Wednesday night. Here's a business bulletin. The unemployment rate went down last month, probably due to the fact that I just got this job. Now for a community affairs bulletin. There'll be a rock concert tonight at Garfield Park at 8 o'clock. For those of you planning to attend, bring your own rocks.
Solid gold to make you feel old. From the summer of 1962, before you were born. Remember, kids? Danny and the Dressmaker and some super gold Jenny. Whee. Do, do, do. Whee. 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 Jenny. Okay, kids, one of the big sounds from out of the past. Wino time, bing bong, 5 minutes past the big hour of 5 o'clock. And right now, a couple of tunes on medical records coming your way in just a few moments. We'll be hearing Won't You Take My Heart by the Donors. And My Body is Rejecting Your Heart by the recipient. But first, a word about the Hollywood scene from our critic at large, John Louis Obispo.
John Louis Obispo here. Last night, Andy Williams Bear was seen having dinner at the posh Beverly Hills restaurant, The Bistro. As he handed him the check, the waiter said, "This is the first time I've ever seen a bear in here." To which the bear replied, "Yes, and at these prices, it'll be a long time before you'll see another." I have this community announcement. Cemetery plot for sale cheap. Owner must sell on account of prolonged illness.
The big number 5 sound. Number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. One of the big heavy groups around. Kids, as you know, we play the heavies and the near heavies, the would-be heavies, the relatively heavies, the quasi-heavies, and the pseudo-heavies. These guys are really heavy. They're so heavy, they're taking diet pills. Lots of them. Here they are, Archie and the Grand Funk Monkeys with the boss. The boss, number two. That's right, it's moved 3 spots since I started introducing it. From their new album, Ferranti and Teicher, live at Woodstock. It's just knowing that your door is always open and your furniture is gone. Okay, there it is, most requested on the Wino Hitline, the newest Beatles release, which if you play it backwards at slow speed, you can hear a voice saying, "Dummy, you playing it backwards at slow speed." Wino time, bing bong, 5 minutes past the big hour of 5 o'clock. Now let's take a minute right now for the Minute Police Report with your up-to-the-minute police reporter, Scoop Baylor.
Paul Pinkley was jailed last night for assault and battery. It seems he came home and caught his daughter and her boyfriend on the ladder outside of his home. When asked if they were eloping, Pinkley replied, "No, they were coming back to live with us." Over to you, Peter.
Okay, thanks, Rush Hour. We'll kind of wind things up here and head for home. Wino time, bing bong, 5 minutes past the big hour of 5 o'clock now. Stay tuned for local basketball. Local basketball. Tonight, Andy Granatelli Vocational High meets the mighty purple of Owsley High. And immediately after the game, there'll be a combination riot dance. Yes, sir. And all the Wino Boss Jocks will be there, the 5 lively guys. To spin some of the big sounds from the Boss Wino 30. Like this one, to wrap things up for you kids. A Boss Jock picked a click here at Wino. Boss Hitbound. A great new group from Australia. 3 guys, a gal, and a kangaroo as they sing, "I got you out of my heart, but I can't get you out of my apartment." But first, a closing word.
This is Rush Hour Robinson here. Before the closing word, I'd like to inject that we just received a report from a scene of an accident on the Ralph Nader Freeway. It's the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. A grocery truck carrying milk and eggs has crashed into another grocery truck carrying flour and sugar. The cargo was spilled all over the highway. Because of the heavy rain and fire that took place, I'm standing here looking at a 2-story dumpling. As a final reminder in wrapping up the news tonight, we'd like to remind you that it takes 1,500 nuts to hold a car together, but it only takes one to spread it all over the highway. And in conclusion, friends, remember, if you want a helping hand, look down at the end of your arm.